NWA putting on Alwayz Ready coming up on June 11th and in Knoxville. Tickets still available, nwatix.com. Or if you're not going to be able to get to Knoxville, you can watch it on Fight TV. Someone that will be very connected to that pay-per-view joins me now on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline. She's one of the best wrestlers around. I've seen her live. I've seen her on TV. I've seen her everywhere. She's fantastic. One of my favorite people to talk to. Chelsea Green. Follow her on Twitter at I'm Chelsea Green. Follow her on Instagram at Chelsea Green. Chelsea, before we came on the air, you were talking about your house hunting in Orlando.
Yes.
How's that going?
Well, it's going. It is. Look, let me just tell you something. Matt is as much of a perfectionist in the ring as he is with hunting. Okay, so it's very hard to find something that King Matthew likes.
Well, and I gotta imagine, part of that has got to be room for all the toys and the figures. I mean, I know you guys, you're a wonderful couple, but man, when you host a wrestling podcast about action figures and toys, the collection gotta be a bit voluminous, shall we say?
Yeah, you're not wrong. One of the must-haves in our new house is some sort of bonus room, loft, or something like that to double as a toy room. And then we also need, let's just say, ample storage for the toys that we are right now storing in our 2-car garage. Our garage is packed floor to ceiling.
All right, now, okay, so he's got to have the toy room. What's your requirement? You got to have a room of your own too, right?
No, you know what? If you know me, I'm very I just want to be able to decorate something that has some character and some personality, and something that's unique to us. So that is my request, is just like, let me do decorating. So yeah, I'm more so shopping for Matt.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. On your Twitter, again, at I'm Chelsea Green, you got a picture of all your, as you call them, the fur babies. And, pet owners, they love fur babies, and I get that. Believe me, I love pets. So let's talk about the pets. The picture shows 2 dogs, 3 cats. Is that it, or is there more?
Oh dear God, that's it. I couldn't even imagine having another one. Our family is complete for now, at least with the fur babies.
Right.
Man, 2 dogs is a lot.
Yes, I've done that before. I can affirm that quite honestly.
It's a lot. So it's especially a lot when we're traveling all the time, and sometimes with NWA we're taping for 5 days straight. So you gotta find childcare for your fur babies.
Right, man. I mean, but they look happy. I mean, the dogs do. Now, cats, they have that kind of, whatever. Just make sure I've got something to eat, and I'll be fine.
I actually think that our cats enjoy when we leave, so I don't feel so bad about them. Because that's exactly it. Like, just leave us some food, and the peace and quiet is what they like, so they're fine.
Okay, hey, that works. You're in Orlando, and it seems like about every few days, I see a picture of you and Matt at Walt Disney World. How many times do you go to Disney World?
If you ask Matt, he would tell you, like, we don't even go that often. But I mean, yeah, I think we go often. We were just there last Thursday because his family came down from New York. So we took everyone there to the parks for a couple days. But we did for a little while take some time. I mean, I say some time off. Maybe we took like a month off. Every time, you have to remember, every single time we have someone come and visit, both of our families are not from Florida. That's what they want to do, and we totally don't blame them. So we've got our Universal annual pass, we've got our Disney annual pass, so we're happy to take them and kind of show them the ropes at Disney and Universal.
I don't blame you're in Orlando. I mean, I was in Los Angeles for Super Bowl, and they actually shut down Universal Studios Hollywood for us for the media party, and it was fantastic. I had a blast. So yeah, if I lived in LA or Orlando, yeah, I'd probably be hitting the theme parks pretty hard too. So I get
And I
that.
mean, it could be worse. Like I've lived in Alberta, and when people come in, there's not much to show them. So I am more than happy to be taking them to, a theme park and to do all the things that you want to do as a kid.
Right, right. I get that. Um, Another tweet I saw recently, you admit to being a gear addict. How much gear do you have? Because I've seen you in a few sets, but I gotta imagine it's the amount, just like Matt's toys, is starting to get voluminous.
It's Yeah, I've got a lot of gear. I'm pretty good with selling it off as I go, but right now I've got 16 sets of unworn gear. So
Oh
that's a
wow.
lot. Usually in our kind of back pocket as a wrestler we might have one or two sets of unworn gear. So yeah, it's a little much.
16 sets unworn. So you haven't worn it yet. So another hasn't been seen in the ring or anything, right?
No, and I'm also notorious for getting boots to match. So um we have outgrown our house. Okay, as you can see, the gear, the dog hats, the toys, we have outgrown our house. That's why I am in my car right now talking to you while house hunting.
Wow, how okay, I get that. I get it. All right, let's get to some wrestling. First of all, one of the things I loved your tenure in NXT, you and Deonna Purrazzo had some great chemistry. I wish they would have gone further with that tag team. Um, any future outings possibly? And I just had Deonna Purrazzo on the show a couple weeks ago. Any possible future outings with you and Deonna? Because I think you two made a fantastic tag team.
I mean, yeah, there's absolutely always a possibility. I am currently a free agent, so I mean, I could be a tag team with Deonna at Impact. I could be a tag team with Santana Garrett on the Indies, who I tagged with for years. I could be a tag team with Britt Baker at AEW, who I was a tag team with, right before WWE. Like my possibilities right now are endless, which I feel like I'm in the best position possible. With Deonna, I think that both of us are at a point in our career right now where ideally right now would be the time.
Yeah.
She doesn't hold any of the belts. I have kind of been with Matt and Brian as in the major players, but haven't really been wrestling all that much. So I think that right now could possibly be the best time for us to kind of team up.
Okay, Bookers, you heard it. We need Deonna and Chelsea as a tag team. We need them now. Um, you just mentioned about being a free agent and wrestling all these different places: Impact Wrestling, NWA, GCW, AEW, Ring of Honor, everywhere. I know that's got to be a blast, just because you're getting so much work, so that's you're getting making the money and all that good stuff. But B, you're getting exposed so many places. Talk for a second just about how much fun it is to be able to work at all these different places, as well as this. It's kind of part of this. Forgive the pun, as Tony Khan called it, the forbidden door popping up anywhere and everywhere.
I mean, when I got released from WWE last April, the first thing I did was contacted NWA. I contacted Pat Kenny at NWA. I contacted Scott D'Amore and I contacted Kanellis and Bobby Cruz at Ring of Honor, and I laid it out for them like, look, I really want to be a free agent, and I want to work for all of you guys, and I want to work for all of you guys at the same time. And I was so surprised, but so lucky that they all said yes. And I did Empower and an NWA pay-per-view basically in the same month as doing my first Ring of Honor show and Slammiversary for Impact. There's not a lot of people say they've done that at this point. After having done that, after kind of, I think everyone realizing like, oh, that door literally is open. Now we're seeing it happen over and over. Every week we see someone new coming in to a new promotion, which I think is amazing. But a year ago, we didn't really see that. So I just think that I'm so lucky to be able to do that. And I'm so lucky that I'm on all these different platforms and wrestling all these different amazing wrestlers from all over the world. And like, I just think that this is a time in wrestling that we need to stop and realize like, whoa, we've never had this and we might never have this again. Who knows how long this is going to last?
It's, it's funny because, after, I'm older than you in everything. So I remember the territory days and and then you go through the Monday Night Wars and then WWE buys WCW. And then it seemed like it was there wasn't much out there. And then you fast forward 20 years and now it's like the Wild Wild West out there. You go anywhere. I mean, you can go to Japan, you can go to Mexico, you can go to, like you said, Impact, AEW, Ring of Honor, which now owned by Tony Khan, but still, GCW, all these different great indie promotions, AAW and some of these great indie promotions that are around. So it feels like it's that time where wrestlers, if they you take advantage of the opportunities, you can make a lot of money, you can get a lot of exposure and get yourself out there. And I think it's just fantastic. You've mentioned of course being released by WWE, which and I'll say you didn't get the run that you should have. Honestly, I remember I was there with you at Wrestle Circus and a couple of the shows you did here in Austin. What was the biggest lesson you learned from your tenure in WWE and NXT?
Oh man, I mean, right when you started asking me that question, like immediately the one thing that comes to mind is just like, you don't always get what you think you deserve, and you have to get over it. This is show business, baby. You don't always get what you work for. Sometimes there are opportunities given to people that might not have worked as hard as you, or might have had a different path as you. And you just got to get over it. Like, if you don't have thick skin, it is what it is. There was a lot of growing up in WWE and just realizing like life isn't fair, and that's all there is to it. Get over it, move on, and kind of control the things you can control. You can control the way you look, you can control your what you put into your body and the exercise that you do. You can control your character or your gear and things like that, but there's not much else that you can control. You can control that you're a nice person, but besides that, I mean, in wrestling and in show business, you kind of have to just let Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you definitely moved on. You've done a fantastic job. Before we get to Alwayz Ready, let's talk for a second, because besides that, you've got another pay-per-view. You're going to be part of that Queen of the Mountain match for Impact Wrestling Slammiversary coming up on June 19th. So you get the shot at the Knockouts World title. Deonna Purrazzo is part of that match. You got 3 others. Talk for a second about what that match means to you, the ladder match, Queen of the Mountain match. They've done the King of the Mountain. Now they're going to do Queen of the Mountain. Give me your thoughts on competing for that Knockouts World title at Slammiversary.
I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think that Impact has been so underrated in the opportunities that they've given the knockouts. From the beginning, they have given the knockouts so much more than any other company, and they continue to do that. We just, in Dallas, in the new year, had the first ever Ultimate X match for the knockouts. Now we're having kind of another barrier breaking match, if you will. And I'm so excited that I get to be a part of a second first ever. This is something that now will go, on my resume for the rest of my life. It'll be something you can never take away from any of us. And I think we're all really excited to just once again prove that the women can do everything that the men can do. I mean, we've been proving that over and over again. Sasha and Bianca proved that in their amazing WrestleMania match. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa proved it in their badass hardcore match. We proved it in the Ultimate X match. We're going to prove it again in this Queen of the Mountain match, and we'll continue to prove it, as Impact continues to give us opportunities. I mean, you really have to remember that in every other company, they don't want to do intergender. We have been doing intergender over and over again at Impact for years.
Yeah.
And we just don't put it out there and don't ask for, a pat on the back for it. We just do it because really at Impact, they think of us like equals. And I love that.
What you said about Impact being underrated, they have put on some of the best stuff in the last couple of years, and they continue to do it. And I think it's fantastic. Impact Wrestling Slammiversary, June 19th. Get it on pay-per-view, Fight TV. All right, let's get to NWA Alwayz Ready. First of all,
yes, this is what I want to talk about.
Yeah. All right. We know that the main event will be your husband, Matt Cardona, defending the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against the former champion, Nick Aldis. We also know Matt is dealing with a torn labrum. Is that right? Torn labrum, right?
Yeah, he tore that bicep right off.
Yeah, bicep, right. So how is Matt doing? He has put out a statement that says he is going to be at that pay-per-view. Now, torn bicep, he has to go under the knife. How's he doing? Just flat out, how is Matt Cardona doing?
So he's going into surgery on Tuesday. They obviously gave him a recovery time that is not ideal. And I know Matt, I know that he is he's not going to take no for an answer. He will absolutely be back in the ring much sooner than the timeline that the doctor gave him. But look, he has worked his way up this crazy wrestling ladder, and he finally has a pay-per-view that is named after him. There are not many people in the world that can say that. So you are damn right. Both of us are going to be there. The entire Cardona family is going to be there. We truly don't know how this is going to pan out. Billy Corgan has to tell us. Yeah. He's our boss. He has to tell us, what he wants Matt to do with this championship. Does he want Matt to get in the ring with one arm? Does he want Matt to hand over his title? Does he want us to, I don't know. I mean, the possibilities really are endless. And that's something that Matt and I have been endlessly talking about and kind of spinning our wheels, trying to figure out what is the direction that NWA and Billy Corgan is going to want to go in. But I can tell you this, we're ready for anything. We've got our boots. We got our bags packed. We are so ready for Alwayz Ready. We are always ready for Alwayz Ready. And torn bicep or not, Matt's going to be there.
Right. I have no doubt. Look, whatever character or anything is, you got to give it up to him for everything that he has done since he left WWE, and especially nowadays with Impact, like you, with Impact, with GCW, with the NWA, with all these different promotions. And it's so cool to watch both of you just making your way and doing it your way too. And it's fantastic. It is NWA. By the way, I haven't seen a match announced with you. Could we see you in the ring at Alwayz Ready?
Well, currently, Kylan and Camille have a little championship match. Look, I'm just saying, if they wanted to make it a triple threat, I will have some new gear with me in my bag. If Billy decides to mix it up a little bit and throw me in, I wouldn't say no.
you know, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to see you after a couple weeks with both the NWA Women's World Title and the Impact Knockouts title. Start calling you Chelsea Two Belts.
Exactly, right? I mean, look, Matt,
just saying.
I've just been waiting for my time, patiently waiting for my time. Billy Corgan, if you're listening to this, I will wrestle Camille for that belt whenever you tell me to.
I like it. Hey, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna put it out the hashtag Chelsea Two Belts. There you go. NWA.
And you know what? Maybe while you're at it, start also the hashtag like I don't know, maybe like the Burke on Chelsea. We'll work on that. That's a working hashtag, so we'll work on something a little better.
We'll workshop it. That's it. NWA Alwayz Ready, Saturday, June 11th, coming from the Knoxville Convention Center. Again, NWATIX.com for tickets. If you can't be there, make sure you get it on Fight TV. She is Chelsea Green. Follow her on Twitter at I'm Chelsea Green. Follow her on Instagram at Chelsea Green. Chelsea, every interaction you and I've had, it's always been fantastic. You are an absolutely wonderful individual. I love watching you. Love your work. Such a great person. I wish you all the best. Wish Matt all the best. Good luck finding the house. Let's hope you find the house with all the rooms and all the storage you need. And we'll talk again soon.
Thank you for having me. And don't forget, hashtag the Burke on Chelsea.
The Burke on Chelsea. That's it.